What is the nature of your work? What kind of work do you do for NFPI?
Primarily, I would say about 90% of our work is defending criminal case or civil cases, let's say, involving lawsuits against Chicago itself, DuPage County, and some other counties, and defending those cases.
Well, why do you think it is you specialize in that kind of work? What pulled you into that direction?
It seems that there's a lot of cases today where attorneys are filing lawsuits on behalf of their clients and charging wrongdoing by either the state's attorney's office or whoever's law office and the police officers who made the original arrest.
So you think there's a demonstrated bias against the police in the wrongful conviction movement?
There's no doubt that what's going on is a money machine discovered by defense attorneys because it's the fault of the state's attorney's office, by the way, for not prosecuting or defending these cases and laying down from the very get-go. These attorneys count on the fact that the state's attorney's office, more than likely, in 90% of these cases, just lays down.
Why does the state's attorney do that?
Hold that thought for a second, anytime.
Why has the state's attorneys rolled over so much?
Well, what's creeped into the mindset at the state's attorney's office is over the last, some of these cases go back more than 20 years, what's come into it is political correctness. And the news media has sided against the police department and with the violators, the people who actually committed these murders. It's in their interest because it sells newspapers and it's politically correct to get these people off of death row. And this started out as being their main goal. And what it's actually evolved into is a money machine for defense attorneys representing these cases, because that's all they have to do is make the charge, file the lawsuit, sit back and wait to get a check from the state's attorney's office. The real victims in all of this are the public, the taxpayers of Illinois, who are being duped by these attorneys and by the media into paying off these lawsuits on cases that were investigated and jury trials were conducted and these people were all found guilty. This is going on, it went on 10 years ago and it's going to continue to go on until somebody puts the hammer down and investigates these cases. In all the cases that we've worked, and we've worked probably 15 or 20 of these cases, every one we went to trial on, we won.
What are some of those cases?
Well, obviously the Porter case was one of them. And then there was another one up in Richmond, Illinois. What the heck was his name? Gauger. The Gauger case. Gauger was another guy who was released by Governor Ryan and exonerated and set loose, and he filed a civil case against the state, and we won because we went back to the original evidence in the case and showed again that this guy's guilty, and we won that case. One of the main thing that's happening in these cases, and the media is responsible for it, is when a person is exonerated by whatever evidence exonerates them, and they use whatever they can to get these people out. Whatever that evidence is, they promote that evidence, but what they fail to do, and intentionally fail to do, by the way, is to show what the original evidence in this case is against this individual. Like all of the facts and witnesses that testified against this guy in the original case should be reinvestigated, and they should use that evidence to defend their case. That's not done. And the news media doesn't tell you what that evidence is. And it could be as profound as the Porter case. In the Porter case, you got 6 eyewitnesses that saw Anthony Porter commit this murder. Yet he's exonerated. He gets to file a $25 million lawsuit against the city of Chicago. And L. Story Simon, a total mutt in this case, he gets to serve 37 years in prison.
So, do you believe that the defense attorneys are breaking the law in creating what they call evidence in these cases? Well, certainly, do you think they did in the Porter case?
Undeniable in the Porter case. Protest, the group from Northwestern University put this thing together, and they were successful with the help of the media. If it wasn't for the media, they would have never got off of square one. It was the media that promoted this case. Front page coverage every day, and that's what it causes the political repercussions from the state's attorney's office, and that's what happened in the Porter case. But all of these cases are basically the same. I mean, it's the same MO on all of them.
What is the MO?
You find an old case, a 20-year-old case. There's a couple of witnesses might have died in the time that elapsed. You might have only one really hardcore witness out there. Usually they're not, because most of these cases involve the predominantly black part of the population. Usually these people are not very wealthy as witnesses. They're street people who are witnesses, although there might have been more of them at the time of the alleged crime, but there might be only one left. It's not difficult to go sit that person down and get them to sign an affidavit that says, well, maybe I was wrong. And with that, just that, they can spring them, and they'll be out filing a lawsuit 30 days later.
Don't you find it compelling that all the key figures in the Porter case all later said that they were promised money through book deals, and some also complain they get reduced prison sentence on both sides of the case? Have you ever seen anything like that before?
Yes. That's a common thread that runs through most of these cases. The witnesses are promised monetary compensation to follow in the form of, and it was a neat kind of an idea. Well, you tell them if they do this, they're gonna be in a book, and they're gonna get this money, and they're gonna be in a movie, and they're gonna make money, and it behooves them to say what they want them to say. That the police made me say what I said. I didn't want to do it, but the police kind of forced me to do it. Even if it didn't result in a beating, they put pressure on me to identify XYZ, and I did. So now I'm recanting that. I don't know who it was. I don't know what he looked like. And that's all they need, and that starts the gravy train. That starts that attorney from filing that lawsuit tomorrow. And it's the same in every case. Doesn't vary.